Hello everybody, this is Serpent, and welcome back to another Minecraft tutorial. In this one, I'll be showing you how to upgrade the Guardian farm that I described in the previous video on my channel, and I will show you how to upgrade it to be slightly more efficient. The problem with the one that I did show in the last episode is that it is slow at moving the Guardians from one place to another, and this farm fixes that by creating 2 long chambers for killing, which the Guardians are shipped to left and right. See the water stream split in the middle. Now, this is the upgrade I described in the previous episode, but I did decide that I might as well show it because I think it was a little bit more complicated than I made it seem like. So I have created this tutorial for your hopeful convenience. If you do have any questions, if I didn't explain anything well enough even in this video, then do post those in the comments. But let's get started. Alright, so to make this change, we need to start by placing back that floor that we removed when we were starting this, or alternatively, if you haven't already built it the first way, then just build it this way instead of putting the water streams on the other way. So basically we just want to first put in a floor, and if I can get over here I will show you how that's done. Yep, okay, glass. And once again, like I said in the last tutorial episode, this is simply so that the water streams will flow properly. Now, I need to remove these water streams, or rather, I don't need to, but if I want them to be centered, then I do. So, I guess I'll leave that up to you, because this isn't really a complicated part. Oh, I can't get up. You can't fly if you're in that mode. So sorry about that. Anyway, this isn't really too complicated, so I'll leave it up to you whether or not you center them properly. Basically, you just start the 2 water streams in the middle, which I will show on camera, just not the centering, and then you'll continue them off to either side, which I will show on camera as well. Before we get started with the parting of the water streams and the placing of them again, first we need to remove them. So actually what this is going to do is break those signs, but I guess that doesn't matter. In any case, you just need to remove the water streams. This is, of course, if you have already placed them. If you haven't already placed them, then you can just ignore this step for the moment. Well, I mean, you can just ignore this step. We'll be coming back here in a bit. Where's the water block? Here we go. But not yet. So I'm going to do that with these other water streams too. So if you have already done this, you don't have to remove the signs. You can just take the water sources from this side of the signs and place them on this side of the signs. And if you start here, then this set of water streams will move that way, and this set of water streams will move that way. And if I look at it from the side, it's a little easier to see. Just like that. And once again like that. That side is unchanged, that's why I'm showing this one. And you can see that it heads over to the side like this. Whoa. Weird flying mechanics underwater too. I have to get used to these. Okay, so now we just need to adapt the killing chamber. Now, in order to extend this, you need to extend this glass floor that you have over here, and just extend this all the way over to this side here, like that, and I will fill this in a little later, and then extend a wall down here, and extend this wall all the way across as well. Now you have a tank sort of thing. It should be hollow in the middle, or full of water in the middle, I guess, which is inconvenient, but it's not as good at self-replicating as the water in a cube, so it shouldn't be too difficult to deal with. Anyway, from here you need to get rid of this water, because you want to place lava here, and I will show you that in a minute once I've removed this water. Alright, it's removed, and you should have an air-filled cavity with a bit of a roof here. So remove the water that we placed in the original tutorial. If you didn't build this from the original tutorial, or didn't build the original tutorial completely, then you won't have to remove this, but you'll still want the this glass wall here, because we need to use it to place lava. And just like the water that we placed over the top of the ocean right there, the lava won't flow properly unless it has a floor as well, so we need to put a floor on. Just like that. Once again, the people who built this off my original tutorial will already have this floor. For those of you who are building the slightly more efficient design initially, the trough needs to be 1 block below the top of the water, and it needs to have a solid block right here, all the way across. So with that in mind, you need to take lava buckets and place them across so that they flow just like that, and every place them with 6 blocks between each one. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 lava, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 lava, and just do that all the way across. And that should allow you to not have any empty blocks of lava. Now, a quick alteration, because I just realized that I did make a mistake. The lava blocks over here are flowing 1 block down too low. They should only be flowing 3 blocks down. Now, if you've already built this, you can just lower the lava sources one. That will be fine. Alternatively, if you haven't built this, you can build it the right way first. Sorry. By placing the signs 1 block higher up than I indicated, so that there are only 3 blocks of lava flowing or source. So you have lava all the way across now, and if you go inside this this air spot, or this cavity, you need to place signs on this second level here. Oh, you don't need to write on them, but you do need to place signs all the way across there. And then what that will allow you to do is basically just let the lava flow down, and the guardians will just burn up in there, and then their drops won't burn out because they'll fall from the lava before that happens, before they die. So yeah, I'll just do that. So now you have this strip of signs all the way across at level 2 from your walkway sort of thing, and if you plan an escape over on this side, say, and try not to let the water flow in. Oh, what's happening? Okay, difficult to tell with the new running mechanics and things. So if you plan an escape like that, this is for survival players, then you can break this and run before the lava flows down onto your face. And like I said, if you have an escape, then you'll just walk out the other side, lava free, burn free, and that is definitely what you want to happen, as opposed to you getting incinerated along with your drops, or items. So, like I said, if you just walk across like that, and then you're out, and you're safe from the lava. Also, actually, if you've already placed these signs, then you ought to be safe anyway. But it's still good to have an escape. Now we need an item collection system. So I've removed the chest here and just replaced it with blocks. And underneath this place, right here, not there, right here, we need to place some sort of easily mineable block, because we will be removing this, and it needs to be as painless as possible, ideally. So just place some leaves or something all the way across, and then underneath that, we will eventually be placing a road for tracks, but we need to remove the water first. So on the side, block it in with some sort of block, and then you are safe to remove these blocks, and you'll have removed the water here. Oh, apparently I didn't do this part, but still, that's the general idea. And of course, if you were doing it, when you're doing it, you need to do it all the way across instead of just in a small section. And cap that in. Then you're free to place some blocks along the side, or at the bottom, like this. And as you're placing it, also place rails. Now you'll need powered rails every so often, and just fill in the center bits with normal rails. Just for an idea of how far between these are, there are 10 rails in between those two sets of powered rails. And at each set of powered rails, I would suggest using a redstone block to power them, as opposed to a torch or a lever. Of course, it doesn't really matter as long as you've made it so that whatever you are using to power it doesn't just disappear because the water touches it. That's why the redstone blocks are nice. Now, at either end of this tunnel, or this path, you need to put a solid block. This is so that the hopper minecart will bounce back and forth. And this is my current setup, just like that. And over at this end, I've replaced the chest. I have put back a chest down at this new floor level. And there are 2 hoppers there. And what we're going to do now is create a hopper unloading system, because this is probably going to produce more drops than would be convenient to just have it run back and forth for. Probably wouldn't work, and of course there's water. So we need to place a comparator here, but first, as you just saw, we need to unwater it. We need to remove the water. So what you need to do is build a little box around it, like this, with a solid block right here, which is adjacent to the track, a solid block here, which is 1 block away from the hopper, and a solid block here, whoops, which I forgot to place, but still needs to be there, and we'll be placing a comparator right there, so it needs to be able to reach the hopper. Now, we still need to remove the water here, so if we build it out a little bit more, then we can place some blocks that will destroy the water sources, like this, or block out those water sources and then place some that will destroy water sources, just like this. If you try and keep this box small, you'll reduce the risk of the water sources self-replicating, which is really annoying. And then now you can place a comparator against that hopper there, a torch on top there, or sorry, a torch right there, with a block on top, and a repeater like that. Also, it has, I've just remembered, let's, oop, and that was wrong. Oops, sorry. Okay, don't do that. So if I was forgetting that you couldn't place ladders on the sides of blocks. So let's just make a doorway there. That way we can get in and out. So I have placed a redstone block here. However, that is not something we want to be there. So we need to remove it, which is a little bit of a pain, but it shouldn't be all that difficult. Just replace it like that, and then of course we need to replace the track, which is a little bit more difficult, because, well, I mean, we have to do this, which is not quite convenient. There we go. I think I got that. Yep. Dangerous playing with water. So that is still powered there. The hopper is not, though. And when items go through that hopper there, the track will unpower, allowing the minecart to stay there while stuff unloads, and then the minecart will head back out across this road. So now what's left is to place the actual minecart, and I will be doing this by just blindly traveling through the lava, but you'll have to find out a slightly different way of doing it. Probably breaking through here is a good idea while simultaneously placing signs, and then just remove that when you leave. But you can see that the minecart is traveling across, and it's doing quite nicely. Nothing, oh, actually it did pick up something there. You saw it paused for a moment. But if we drop, say, maybe not that much, that would take a long time, half a stack, it'll pick it up, and it'll stay there while it unloads that stuff. This would be better demonstrated if I could get to the chest. Yeah, like that. Apparently that's what was missing. And when 32 have gotten in, you can see it goes away. Now what you have left to do here is you need to replicate what we just did over on this side, make sure it's all the same, and that will allow you to pick up drops from both sides, which is important because you just put the water streams pointing over to this side. If you didn't want it, or if you don't want to do all that work, you don't have to swap the water streams over, and you can just have it like this. That will still increase efficiency, just not as much. And I figure that if you're going for increased efficiency, I might as well show you how to do it the most efficient way with this design. So once you've done that, and I will do that off camera, or perhaps not at all if I'm feeling really lazy. Nah, I'll do it off camera. But once you've done that, you'll be removing this floor. So let me finish that up on that side, and then you can see what it looks like before I remove the floor. So now you can see that we have a killing chamber on this side, and a killing chamber on this side as well. This is the one we built first, and like I said earlier, it does have a gap here where the other one does not, and that's because I built the second one right. This one is the correct level. Of course, it doesn't actually matter, but this is neater and it doesn't use as much glass, which is, I guess, kind of good because it is a lot of glass. Anyway, this should all be working now, except for this giant hill, or sorry, this giant roof. Although I do have one amendment to make to the water streams. Over here, you can see that I have shifted it a little, just to make this one reach the necessary length, because previously this water stream here was stopping right there, or sorry, the block before there, it was stopping right here, so the guardians wouldn't have been pushed far enough to get into the lava. So I've amended that by placing some signs across here, as well as some water blocks along here, and that just refreshes the lengths in order to get the water streams to reach far enough. So now all we have left. Oh my goodness, walking in 1.13. It's a very odd endeavor, at least in water. Anyway, I think that messed up my water stream setup, or lava setup. There we go. Anyway, get rid of this, like so, like that, and then get rid of the floor. So the floor stretches from this corner here, that block, to this opposite corner here, this block, and not that block, because that is the wall, and it also protects lava, so we don't want to break that. However, like in the previous tutorial, we want to make sure this is actually water as opposed to flowing water, because otherwise the bubble streams will not be happy. They will stop on the flowing water. So now the guardians have popped up, and they're all quite efficiently being pushed over into the troughs. So we are now collecting the drops. Let's see if this thing comes back. It will. There we go. And how much does it have for us on the first run? Okay, I think I got rid of some of it. But anyway, that's about the efficiency there. So, let's see. There was something else I wanted to say, which was these minecarts will likely stop if you leave the area, because minecarts unload oddly. In fact, I think this one might have already done so. Or no, apparently. Oh, I forgot to put the minecart into this second one that I built. Whoops. So when you leave the area, you'll want to turn this off. I'll show you how to make a switch in just a moment. But apparently I need to place that first. There we go. And the switch is basically just, let's see, it's powering that block there. So that's the block you need to power in order to turn it off. I'll let you come up with some good way of doing this, but if you just put a lever there, that'll turn off the collection mechanism and make sure that the minecart does not get stuck. Although, of course, apparently, looks like that thing is updated oddly. Just needed to give it an update. And there we go. The minecart is moving again. So, like I said, it's currently stopped. So that minecart, even when it does unload all its goodies, will not return to its normally scheduled movement until I do that. Although it hadn't finished unloading its goodies, so that didn't really make much of a difference there. Anyway, if you do that on this side as well, then you will have the full switch. Of course, it's not a very convenient switch, because there are two of them, in fact. However, if you hook up some sort of clever redstone circuit, or just a wire, in other words, to some central location, you will easily be able to turn it on and off. Similarly, these chests aren't really meant for permanent demonstration of storage. Why does it keep raining? I've cleared this multiple times. Similarly, the chests are not meant for permanent storage. So you'll probably want to move these items somewhere else, but that's not part of this tutorial. That's some sort of movement of items tutorial. In any case, I think that's about that. So hopefully you enjoyed this tutorial, or at least hopefully it was useful. And I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.